The Schenectady Foundation was started in the early 1960s, and its focus is on improving the well-being of the people of Schenectady County. I think the most important thing about our mission statement, which is to advance the sustainable well-being of the people of Schenectady County, is the term sustainable. How do we do things in a way that it's actually going to stick and change, can be actually transformational? The great thing is in the last several years, particularly with the Bridges Out of Poverty programs that have been launched here, that has been one of the greatest movements within the community that we've been able to be part of. I'm Robert Carreau. I'm the Executive Director of the Schenectady Foundation. I've been Executive Director technically for roughly 5 years, but I've been involved in the Foundation much longer. And my relationship started probably about 23 years ago. So I've been able to see a long period of time in the community as to how it's advanced and how it's evolved on the social sector side. And other parts of the community have been able to sort of move forward and come closer together. But for me personally, it just has had this aha moment of yeah, I should have really understood that, at least from an intellectual standpoint, that to really understand and to change something as difficult to change as poverty is, you really need to sort of immerse yourself in what's going on and understand how that looks from the perspective of those people who are struggling to move out of poverty. The other thing that's been very personal for me, and what Bridges has done, is I would say that today, as compared to even 3 years ago, I have many more friends and associates who don't look like me and don't come from the same place that I come from, and the ability to be associated with people who have different ideas, different perspectives, and those relationships have really strengthened me as a person and as a leader. Most of the board of our board has gone through training in Bridges, and you can see that they bring that to the table now. We consider it important that every organization in this community has had some kind of involvement with Bridges. One of the questions that our board has started to think about is really, how have you, organization applicant A, how have you listened to or looked through the lens, the Bridges lens, in designing this program? What have you learned about your clients or customers by looking through that lens that has made you rethink or make some changes or alterations in how you develop and deliver the program? From time to time, we inadvertently create policies or guidelines and set up programs that actually become barriers to people advancing themselves. But maybe we weren't looking through that Bridges lens, and if we had looked through that lens, would we have done something a little different? It's an opportunity to identify, are we actually doing a disservice to our own programs? These are all things that boards can and should do, is to be able to step back and say, we created these policies at a point in time, it seemed like the right thing, but this is a different point in time. In a community that is dedicated to helping people move out of poverty, we have to rethink some of these things. What we see here at the end of the day is a community that's coming together very much in partnership, and the key to that has been sharing common language, sharing those trainings together, organizations being in the same room, so it's not just institutions who are off in silos getting trained separately. We're actually all in the room together, learning and listening to each other and improving the relationships. That has a value that I think is immeasurable. We're spreading this as a way of behaving, a way of acting, and a way of developing relationships, so that yes, we run our programs differently, perhaps we make policy differently, let's hope, but we also have relationship with organizations and people and across sectors that we didn't ever have before. And that's, I think, the true power of the Bridges program.